How's it going, guys? In today's video, I'm going to show you how to solve the common E4 error on your HP DeskJet printer. Now, this applies to all HP DeskJets, especially those in the 2600, 2700 and 2800 series. Now, what does an E4 error mean? Well, it's quite simple. It means that there is a paper jam, okay? And you can see it's also flashing over here. Now, there's a few ways that we can solve a paper jam. I'm going to show you all the areas to look. It's actually really simple, but there's a couple things that we can do to start off with. First one is sometimes we can just press this button here and it might cycle the piece of paper through. As you can see, my piece of paper is actually stuck in the middle of the whole printer. So if I press this, maybe, there we go, that has actually cycled through this piece of paper and it has actually cleared my error. However, that probably isn't the case for everyone in here, okay? You can also actually press the cancel job button over here, and that should also cycle through the print job. So where else do we have a look if it's not as simple as that? Well, there are a number of places we can have a look. And the first one is gonna be in the front of the printer. So to get started, what we're going to do is you want to make sure, obviously, the entire front section of your printer is open, like so. It can take a bit of pulling sometimes. You can see that flex it had. And then we want to open up the ink section of the printer. Now, this actually gives us good access to the entire printer. And those, you might not realize, but you actually can move this out the way and look for any obstructions that might be there. You can move it actually to both sides and just look for any loose pieces of paper that might be hanging around or hiding in here. Now, I will say be careful because you have these really delicate pieces of plastic around. Now, you might even see just like the tiniest corner of a piece of paper sticking out. If you do see a small corner of paper, then I really recommend you pull it very gently. You might even need to use tweezers, because the last thing you want to happen is for you to pull a corner of a piece of paper and then it rips and the rest of it is inaccessible. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. Now, you don't have to put this back. You can just shut this and it will correct itself. The next place we're going to look is actually around the back of the printer. Now, you can actually unplug your printer when viewing these next couple of sections because we're going to get our hands inside a little bit and we want to just be careful. So I'm going to unplug it over here. Now, the first session, the next section we're going to have a look is actually the paper tray. And to access this, we're going to remove our paper and we're going to lift up this back section. And you might need a flashlight for this. I unfortunately only have two hands, so I can't show you. But basically, we want to look inside here to see if there is anything blocking our paper from going through the printer. You can even actually lower this section and get a lot closer. And again, just try and see if there is anything blocking our access or the printer's access to paper, okay? If there isn't, then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually turn this printer upside down, okay? This sounds uncommon, but this is actually a great way to have access to the next section. Okay, so my printer is off and it is upside down, and this is what it looks like. So you might notice we actually do have access to different rollers and whatnot, but also there is actually another door under here, which you have to unclick carefully. And there we have access to another area whereby there can sometimes be some paper left inside here. Okay, so once you're happy, turn this back around and plug it back in. Now, if you did remove any pieces of paper and you plug it back in, you should be good to go. The error should clear itself automatically. If you couldn't find anything and the error is still there, I recommend unplugging it again and potentially resetting it, which involves holding the off button and the cancel button as long as you can. And unfortunately, if it keeps showing that there is a paper jam and you looked in all the areas I told you, then you might need to refer to your warranty. But this is a pretty old printer, so you might simply just have to get a new one. So that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. That is how you clear the E4 error, which is a paper jam. I hope this helped. If you have any other issues, check out our channel. We've made every video about every issue that can possibly arise with this printer. Have a fantastic day, and please like and subscribe as it helps us out so much. Goodbye.